Sama, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
What brings you to the World Energy Congress?
Well, we think that it's very important that we bring nuclear energy into the table as we are, facing this enormous challenge, which is decarbonize our economies in a way that is cost-effective and equitable. We want to make sure that the essential role of nuclear energy is well understood, so this is why we are here.
So this year's theme is obviously redesigning energy for people and planet.
Right.
Where does nuclear fit into that?
Oh, it's absolutely essential. So obviously, the decarbonization and is obvious. We know that nuclear energy will produce electricity and heat with zero emissions, so that's very important. So that is the planet part of it, if you wish. But I think that it's also very important to recognize that nuclear energy is and has historically been a catalyst for socio-economic development, to bring together with the energy industry and opportunities for growth and improvements in lifestyle for many people.
So there's been a lot of new developments around the world. Exciting time for nuclear. What positive effects have you seen on those areas, but also further afield with these new developments?
So we've seen in the last couple of years enormous changes in the way nuclear energy is perceived and appreciated. So number one, people, countries, policymakers are recognizing the essential role of nuclear energy today and for the last 5 decades. So this is not just in the future. This is energy source that has contributed for 5 decades and is contributing today. And then, of course, as we look at the future, we all see countries and policymakers see the very essential role of nuclear moving forward. And I think that you probably saw this at COP28 last December, where we had 25 countries very boldly stating that they were committing themselves to tripling global nuclear capacity by 2050. So that right there is a very good ambition, but at the same time a huge challenge that the industry needs to take on and actually deliver.
So what are the next steps for the industry to meet that new challenge and that new deployment?
Well, so there is, I think to me, this is a government and industry and civil society partnership that we need to work together. So it's good to see the recognition of nuclear. So we are starting to see this in energy policies. That's good. Now those energy policies need to be translated into industrial policies. And this is for the development of supply chains, for really attracting and developing workforce to deliver all this clean energy. And notice that I say clean energy, not only nuclear energy. I think that the workforce and the supply chain that we need is for the most part very common. It's not just nuclear, it's clean energy. And then we also need to make sure that the finance community understands what's their role. Many of the clean energy projects are capital intensive, which means that we are going to need affordable finance for all these projects, nuclear and non-nuclear. And many times the finance community needs to understand that it's not only a nuclear power plant but needs financing, but it's the entire value chain that comes with nuclear. The supply chain, for example, or even the front end of the nuclear fuel cycle, mining or fuel fabrication. So this is important to make sure that the finance community sees how they have a key role to play in this transition that we are trying to develop.
So it's fair to say it's not just about energy.
No. It is, as you say. I mean, yes, energy is a little bit of the final product that brings jobs, brings opportunities, brings development, and at the same time trickles down into additional opportunities, additional development, additional quality of life.
And how do you feel the dialogue around nuclear has started to change, especially with net zero nuclear?
Oh, it has changed quite a bit, and I think that I will take some of the credit. I think that we and our members and our collaborators have been doing a good job articulating the message and how nuclear fits in this new reality. But let me just say, I think that the new reality itself has helped the average person out there to really rethink how nuclear fits in their life. It used to be that perhaps energy choices didn't really seem to have a direct impact in their lives. So, you could like this or that energy source, and it was a little bit for free, if you wish. But today we are seeing in many countries in Europe, not just in Africa or Southeast Asia, where the average person has to make decisions between turning on the heat or eating. So this is not a simple choice, and in that much more complex context, nuclear energy is definitely bubbling up as a very good choice. Not the only choice, but certainly a very good choice to provide abundant, affordable, 24/7 energy.
So, would you say there is a renaissance in nuclear, or is that yet to come?
Well, I think that we have some work to do. I mean, yes, there is a heightened awareness and appreciation for the role that nuclear energy has and can have in this clean energy transition. But I think that the nuclear industry, we still need to really demonstrate that we can actually deliver. So we really need to close this talk-do gap that sometimes exists in all clean energy sources, but perhaps in nuclear sometimes more than in others.
And what's most exciting you personally?
To me, it is very exciting that when I start conversations with people, whether it's policymakers or the average citizen on the street, the questions that they are asking me are, so how can nuclear help? What can nuclear do for me? How I have this energy issue, is nuclear something that I need to be considered? It's no longer a conversation about whether nuclear belongs or doesn't belong. That ship has sailed. We all are clear that nuclear is here and is essential. The question now is how to actually make it happen.
And what are the next steps?
Well, so the next steps are, as I mentioned before, translating to industrial policy. And this to me is a top-down and bottom-up approach. Clearly, government's vision and long-term planning is essential to develop those industrial policies. But at the same time, the industry does need to invest in itself. We now have clarity and long-term visibility that governments are interested in nuclear, that industry, whether it's the tech industry, the oil and gas industry, steel, cement, ammonia, you name it, they are very interested in what nuclear can deliver for them. So now it's our turn to really, deliver. So we need to start making sure that all these projects that are now in progress, that they are successful. We need to show how we can deliver on time and on budget in all these projects, in all sizes, whether it's large reactors or small modular reactors. And then I think that demonstration will help us really get the momentum rolling to really accelerate.
So exciting times for nuclear.
Absolutely, definitely.
Excellent. Well, Sama, thank you very much for joining us.
It is my pleasure. Thank you.